thought it would be really good to have a chat to you about babies who won't eat. I know all mums have been there. I hope all mums have been there. Some point where your baby just refuses to eat the food that you've just spent forever preparing. But I guess we've had quite a difficult time with Bells and her eating. And so I just wanted to talk about that experience with you, and to run through some of the tips and advice that I have, along with some of the information that I was given by our health visitor, in the hope that it can help somebody else. So when Bells reached 6 months, we started weaning her, and we did baby-led weaning. She's incredibly independent and strong-minded, and so it just seemed like the right thing for us to do. And I'm kind of lazy, so anything that prevents me having to puree everything, and she can just share our dinner, that's a winner with me. So that seemed to go really well, and she kind of loved bits and pieces, but still was really keen on milk. She was very late to the milk game. She was breastfed until she was 9 months, and then when she discovered bottles, literally just wanted bottles of milk constantly. She's been bumbling along for 6 months. There are evenings where she just won't eat. There are other evenings where she can't eat enough. I was kind of okay with that. I was okay with just taking each day as it came. And she's always been quite good with breakfast, so I kind of thought as long as she has her one meal of the day where I know it's going to go really well, then the other meals, it didn't matter that much. But then she turned a year old, and I was really conscious that, okay, we really should be weaning you off of formula now, and your eating really needs to pick up. And then she just stopped eating, like altogether. 2 weeks, refused breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinner. It didn't matter if you let her play with food. It didn't matter if she knocked it out of the cupboard. Like normally she'd eat bits from the floor, because that's more appetizing than being on the plate. But absolutely nothing. And I was going out of my mind with worry. I was really trying to be completely calm and to make it a playful time with her, so as not to turn it into a really big thing, but nothing seemed to work. And then I was speaking to somebody the other day, and they said, wait there, she's 12 months, so she just had a 12-month jab. And I was like, yeah. And they said, okay, the nurse had told us that anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks, they could start to feel poorly and have a bad appetite. If only I'd known that. And sure enough, after the 2 weeks, things went back to normal. She was clearly feeling more herself again. Don't get me wrong, she's never going to be a really strong eater, or she isn't at the moment, but I've definitely got my baby back. So I thought, in the meanwhile, it would be really good to give you some tips and advice as to things that I've tried that I have found that have helped. Portion size. Making sure that they're not overloaded with food on their plates really helps. So they're meant to have a portion which is the size of their fist. They're meant to have 1 of protein, 1 of carbs, 1 of vegetables on their plate. Trying to remain relaxed. That's so much easier said than done. Like, I wrote articles on weaning before I had Bells, and at the time I was like, just try again tomorrow, it'll be fine, like I don't see the big fuss. And it's really upsetting, like when your baby's not eating and your core job in this world is to look after them, you really feel like you're failing them when they're not eating. But trying to remain relaxed is a really good thing to do. I got to the point where if I could see that she wasn't going to eat anymore and she was starting to get angsty, that would be it. I would clear dinner away. And it stopped dinner time becoming really stressful. Getting the right high chair and table. We're currently on our 3rd high chair, so we've had so many, but this one's really good. So we had one which I think was Phil and Ted's, which just wasn't good for cleaning, and it just didn't really work for us. Then we had the Stocky, which was really good, and I know that we will go back to it. but for now it doesn't really seat her high enough for the table that we had. So recently we just went and got the IKEA high chair along with a kitchen table from there, and it positions her really nicely so that she's above her food, she can see what's below her, and she can pick at bits, and that's really been a turning point for us. Not offering alternatives. I was 100% guilty of offering 12 courses each mealtime until she would eventually eat something. But when I went to see the health visitor, and it makes total sense, if you keep offering alternatives, they're going to hold out for what they want to eat. If they're hungry, they will eat. So making sure that you don't always fall back to their favourites is a really good thing, because eventually they will cave and start to try different things. Cutting nighttime milk. So Bells always has a bottle in the morning and a bottle in the evening, but if she was waking up in the night, then quite often, to get her off back to sleep quickly, I'd give her another bottle. And apparently that can really have an effect on their appetite the next day, so trying to drop that feed is definitely worth trying. Independence. So they're getting to the point now where they want to feed themselves, and that might mean that less gets in their mouth, but it's going to hone those skills and they will be able to feed themselves properly before long. So giving them the tools to do that, chopping food into finger sizes, into batons where you can, is really good. And short handled spoons I found are better than long ones. Like long ones, it is everywhere anyway, but if it's a shorter handle, the chances are increased of actually getting it into their mouth. Eating together has really been a game changer, I think, because there's less focus on Bells and what she's doing, and also she's watching us. She wants to be grown up, she wants to be like us, so wherever possible we now try and eat all of our meal times together. And then we're having conversation, not really focusing in on Bells, and you'll tend to find then that she'll kind of pick up her eating game. Unfortunately, Dickie works shifts, so happens less than we'd like, but definitely those meal times are the most successful ones. I'm not sure whether this is recommended or not, but distraction definitely helps. So I have one of Belle's favourite toys on the table, so that if she starts to kick off, I can press it. She kind of gets distracted and then she might go back to her food later. And she's a bit of a vain monkey, so normally if you can put your phone on the camera in selfie mode so that she can see herself, she finds it really funny to watch herself eating, so that's been a real game changer for us. Hopefully some of those tips help you. I'd love to hear from you if you've been through the same thing and you have any advice that might be able to help others. Don't forget, if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment, and I would love it if you could subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye for now.